This movie is a window into the dark and dangerous world of children cheating in school exams.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm deadly serious. This is Dangerous Cheaters. I'm Jay Harangue and I spend hours of my life watching terrible films.
You should subscribe.
It starts with this high school volleyball game. This is Kaylee and she's the main character.
Hi.
Her team has won the game and everyone's happy.
Who wants to go celebrate Daddy's treat?
What? Daddy's treat? I'm sorry, but that girl is not a high school student. She has to be in her mid to late 30s.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Anyway, Kaylee's like, I can't, I have to study for the SATs.
But your score was so good before, like hundreds better than me.
Kaylee's friend Monica also has to study, but Olivia and Sebastian are hardcore, so they're down to celebrate. At Kaylee's house, her boyfriend Jackson and Monica are studying with her when her mum comes out.
It's 10 o'clock. Why don't you get some sleep?
Because they're not 10 years old?
Fair enough.
Kaylee's like, the SATs are in 2 days, Mum. When her mum leaves them alone, Kaylee starts telling Jackson and Monica how she's really upset that this girl Clea used to be her best friend, but now she's Millie's best friend. Millie is the girl played by the actress in her mid to late 30s.
I just miss her sometimes, you know?
Yeah. It's the day of the SATs and Kaylee's mum is waiting outside the test centre for her.
I think I did good.
I am so proud of you.
No, Kaylee, you think you did well.
Correctamundo.
Anyway, then this guy comes over and tells Kaylee she forgot to collect her phone. He was the proctor. That's what I know as an exam invigilator.
He collected all of our phones in the beginning so that we wouldn't cheat.
As they walk off, Kaylee sees the proctor arguing with someone in this car. 2 weeks later, Kaylee, Monica and Millie, mid-30s, are in the library.
I got a 1490.
What?
No way.
For those who don't know, a 1490 is very good. It puts you in the top 2 or 3% of the country. Kaylee is insanely jealous of Millie mid-30s because she's only got a 1280. Millie mid-30s calls Clea, who got a 1460.
Told you that SAT prep course was worth it.
But Clea isn't happy about something, and Millie mid-30s tells her to calm down and says they'll talk about it later.
I want to throw a party. I'm sure my dad will let me.
Well, I'd hope he has absolutely no say on what his 40-year-old daughter does. Oh, I see, her dad's the same age. Brilliant. So the party's on. At the party, Kaylee overhears Millie mid-30s arguing with Clea.
I have the proof. It's on my laptop. You're not making any sense.
Kaylee's like, everything okay here? Clea's like, no, actually, I've made a massive mistake and I don't need you judging me about it. Then she walks off. When the party's over, there's no sign of Clea, so they all go off to find her. Oh no, she's dead. After a load of scenes with kids crying, Kaylee is telling her mum that she's suspicious about all these test scores. 11 people got over 1400, including Sebastian, whose last score was crap, and Kaylee is seriously jealous and bitter. She just won't accept it. It's all being put down to the prep class these kids took. But Kaylee asks Jackson to hack into the school computer to get more information. Then she confronts Millie mid-30s, Olivia and Sebastian.
How'd you do it? The prep class?
Maybe. What are you saying?
Seems like that course was really worth it.
I guess it was.
Maybe I'm just smarter than you and you can't handle it.
At an unspecified time later, Kaylee goes round to Clea's mum's house with flowers, but Millie mid-30s is there with her dad Steve. They look like a couple because they're the same age. Steve is also apparently a ventriloquist.
Beautiful flowers for a beautiful home.
Beautiful flowers for a beautiful home.
Anyway, Steve and Millie mid-30s leave and Kaylee starts talking to Clea's mum about the test scores.
Obsessed much.
She got this remarkable score, but it was like she didn't even seem proud.
Clea's mum agrees to give Kaylee Clea's laptop so she can investigate. They don't know the password, so Haley asks Jackson if he can hack into it. Someone's let her tyres down, so she has to walk home, but a masked figure attacks her and unsuccessfully tries to take the laptop. Kaylee won't be telling her mum or the police, as she's decided the attacker was Millie mid-30s.
Oh, I see.
Jackson has found out that the prep class all the kids took was called Gavest Prep, run by someone called Nat Gavest.
He or she is completely invisible online.
You're the best boyfriend ever.
Take that, Ryan Gosling.
The next day, Katie starts looking into this Nat Gavest online, but this guy, who's sat in some control room, apparently monitoring kids' online communications, needs her to back off, so he sends her abusive messages. Then Monica comes over and Hayley tells her all about Gavest Prep and how she thinks it was Millie mid-30s who attacked her. But the masked figure switches the camera on her laptop and is seeing and hearing their whole conversation. That night she sees the masked figure outside her house with a tire iron, so she finally calls the police.
Good?
This is Detective Baxter and he tells them to get security cameras.
Okay.
The next day at school, the principal calls Kaylee out of her class, as she's had a tip telling her there are drugs in Kaylee's locker. There aren't any drugs in there, but there is a stolen test. This all comes to nothing, by the way, so let's just ignore it. After school in the car park, Hayley sees Millie mid-30s with a tyre iron.
It's just like the person in my driveway.
Well, that's confirmed it then.
I don't see how.
Kaylee has decided that the proctor from the exam centre must have seen something, so they track him down at the library where he works. When they get there, he's like, sorry, no idea what you're talking about, so they leave.
We have a problem.
Ooh. Then she gets home to find her mum has installed a doorbell camera. Oh, and she's also shagging Detective Baxter.
What a slut.
That night, Jackson is round trying to hack into Clear's laptop. Haley remembers that Clear's favourite show as a kid was Scooby-Doo, so suggests trying this as the password.
I'm in.
What?
Unbelievable. Anyway, someone is watching through the window. Haley goes to bed and leaves Jackson downstairs to do more hacking. She's woken up in the night by a noise downstairs, and when she goes down to see what it was, she sees Jackson.
Oh no!
He's not dead, but someone has kicked his head in and taken the laptop. Kaylee calls the proctor again. She's like, look, someone's dead because of an exam you proctored. He offers to meet her somewhere and discuss, but then Kaylee notices the camera on her laptop is on. They call Detective Baxter again, but he's useless, so Kaylee takes the laptop to Jackson in hospital. He's like, leave the laptop here, Kaylee. I'll find out who's doing this.
Will you, though?
No.
When she gets home, Detective Baxter, who's still there because he's shagging her mum, is telling them about Clear's autopsy.
She was grabbed. Or pushed.
What a revolting development.
I think everyone has guessed that already, but moving on. We then see the proctor getting attacked outside the library, so he's dead now too. The next day, while looking at the list of sponsors for a school volleyball team, Kaylee works out that Nat Gavest is an anagram of Steve Gant. That's Millie mid-30s dad. She tells her mum and they go to the principal.
Are you aware that Gavest Prep is actually connected to Steve Gant?
I am.
Oh.
Oh dear, that's backfired.
Yep.
That evening, while Kaylee is playing volleyball, someone poses as a doctor and tries to kill Jackson. After the game...
What is your problem, Millie? Shut up. Just shut up.
Watch it, Kaylee.
Kelly tells Monica that Millie mid-30s outburst confirms she's in on it, and when Monica leaves, someone else comes into the locker room. It's the masked figure and he attacks her, but Monica's forgotten her calculus book and sees everything. The masked figure escapes and Kaylee goes home. Her and her mum order pizza, but when it arrives... So to absolutely no one's surprise, it's Steve.
What?
You just couldn't keep your mouth shut.
You killed Clea.
Clever girl.
Then he tells them exactly how he did everything. In fairness, it's a pretty impressive throw.
Very impressive indeed.
It turns out the students didn't even know about the deal he'd made with the proctor. They all think they genuinely aced the test. Steve is about to burn the house down, but Kaylee has managed to untie herself, and her mum tries to grab his gun. Apparently, Steve has found some strength from somewhere, because he didn't seem to have any earlier when he tried to wrestle a laptop from a small teenage girl.
True.
Anyway, then there's this fight. Kaylee hides in the house and Steve tries to find her.
Yes!
Detective Baxter come in and Steve is arrested. And now it's graduation day. Kaylee has got into Bentonville, which apparently is an Ivy League college in the Lifetime cinematic universe. Her mum and Detective Baxter are an item, and Jackson isn't dead. We find out that Steve Gant is going to be in jail for a long time, and Millie mid-30s also get into college, so everyone's happy. Yeah! And that's the end of the film. So until next time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe and check out this other video. Thank you.